So we can just jump right in if you want. What have you guys been, obviously new record, you're doing really well with the social media following as well. You've come a long way decidedly since the last time we talked. How does that feel and what's it feel like? I know it's a lot of hard work.
Oh man. I guess we're still in the trenches, right? We're just working our asses off. So from the inside looking out, uh it kind of feels like not much has changed, I guess. It's wild. Even though from the outside looking in, it's like, oh, you guys have, put out a lot of stuff, done a lot of things. Uh,
Right.
Ruben, what about you?
Honestly, I feel about the same. There's tons of more work to do. But it just, we're in it so much, we don't really feel like we've done a lot. Before we know it, we look back and we're like, oh my gosh, we ran like 400 yards, in like the last hour or so. So it feels like, but especially after having our first debut show, man, that was fantastic.
Right. What was the decision to do the acoustic versions of those songs?
Well, I guess, me and Ruben have always been like avid clean guitar players too, and acoustic players. And we felt like, songs like Numb especially would translate really well. So we
Right.
figured give it a shot.
And what's been the response to that? Pretty good.
I would
'Cause
say,
it
I would
hits on a
say,
whole different level, right?
but yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like considering that we're kind of like a rock band too, it's like, it's we never would bank on an acoustic version just being our top song, right?
Right. No, no, no. But I think it definitely hits and probably brings in different people,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
right, to the fold, and then they start just falling down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My family really likes the acoustic versions, right?
Same.
Was the decision to get heavier on this on the record itself an intentional one? Or is that like a natural progression? Because I feel it's a bit heavier.
Mm.
And it felt a little natural. I know after we're done with our songs, we look at each other and we say, dude, we can go heavier. Let's try it. You know? So it
Really?
was like, yeah, we followed our gut. And of course some people were commenting like, oh, we need more of this. Brian's a phenomenal, he's still learning how to do it, but he's a phenomenal screamer.
Right. Do you ever feel like you're getting harder or heavier too much, and that might alienate some fans that don't want to take that journey, or is that not really a consideration?
Yeah, we've thought about that. It's kind of it's sort of intentional and it's sort of natural at the same time. And I think as long as we just are ultimately ourselves at the end of the day, I think that's what matters most. I think that's what'll create the most authentic music. And I think, up to this point, we've definitely kind of conditioned our fans not to not know what to expect. Every song is going to be kind of here or there. Nobody knows. So
And I see you worked with Trivium's producer as well, so that probably added to a little bit of the heaviness and more aggressiveness, right?
Trivium's producer.
Didn't I see that? Did I read that somewhere else wrong?
Um.
Did you work with Robbie Joyner?
Oh yeah, we worked with
Yeah,
Robbie. Yeah, we worked with Robbie.
I
far
thought
from the
somewhere
gods.
along the way, I thought he was part of had something to do with Trivium along the way.
Oh, he's far from the
Fire.
gods.
Fire from the Gods. Okay,
Yeah,
so
far.
that's different as well. But did he pull a lot out of you that didn't you didn't expect? And were you open to that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. Ruben, what do you think? I mean, I feel like the studio is always very collaborative and encouraging with Robbie.
Yeah, especially when it comes to some vocal hooks or some notes, times that little voice in the head, it tends to beat me personally. And then Robbie turns around, and is like, dude, come on, you can do it. This is in your range. So he pushes us. Same thing for guitar playing. I mean, Robbie has done so much just to unlock that potential within us.
Is it hard to turn your stuff over like that and be that vulnerable and in the moment and receptive?
No, honestly, no. I mean, everything's just so well organized. We all just have an open mind, and at the end of the day, we're really just trying to put out the best material possible.
Right.
I would say it gets intense maybe like after it's completely full circle, and like maybe you'll get an email occasionally or a fan interaction that's really deep,
Right.
and they're like, yo, this song XYZ, I'm going through this, and then you're just like, wow, that's like what I went through, you know. And then you just start relating, and you kind of start realizing what music really is in those moments. And I
Right.
think,
That's the ultimate payoff, right? I mean, obviously you want to make some money and have people listen to it, but that's got to be the ultimate, like, wow.
yeah, the pursuit of, like, I don't know. I mean, when you're in the studio, and Ruben, I know it's the same for you. Whenever you sit back and we're about at the end of a song, we're just like, oh wow, this is crazy. We made this. So there's that, and then there's the people, right? And I think it's those two things for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Finishing across the finish line and then knowing we helped somebody that's miles away, eons away. That
Right. Yeah,
it's
across the
means the
globe or
world.
whatever, right? It's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's like somebody sitting in India listening to you and you've hit them is you couldn't even possibly have imagined when you sat down to write the song, and that's got to be so crazy.
Yeah, that's the wildest part, I think. And you know, I feel like as long as the music is reaching people, you know, that's really what adds a whole new level of value for us, you know.
Okay. So, Get Me to the Dentist, it's out in June, but is there something when your fans get a hold of it that you want them to take away from after listening to it, like an overarching message, or is it mostly just tongue in cheek?
I guess it just depends on the song. Wouldn't you say, Ruben?
Yeah, most definitely. Like man, Heartless, man, that one, deep messages all around. But just when people come to us and they interpret it on their own, I think that's the bullseye for me.
And I imagine those are like way different than what you originally thought as well, right?
Yeah,
Their interpretation of your lyrics.
it can be.
Yeah, most
It could be crazy different, but if it hits them, it hits them.
exactly.
Any more videos planned?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually got one coming out May 29th, or sorry, May 23rd, and then maybe another one in August or so.
So, and when you're going to follow that cycle then of every 6 weeks, like releasing a single sort of thing or whatever that is every 4 weeks. Is that pretty much the goal?
Basically like every 3 months, but this one at the end of the year it'll culminate with like maybe 3 or 4 unreleased songs all released on an EP. But there will be like a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 singles released in advance. So
Okay, cool. And are you guys taking this out on the road?
yeah, the goal
Oh
is
yeah.
Nothing hard planned yet? Nothing solid?
nothing solid, but me and Ruben,
No.
we've been talking about it
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
So at this point, then, what's next for you guys? Just working up to the record, doing press?
pretty much. That
Most definitely. Me and Brian, we're gonna have a session. We call it the Nugget session. We're just gonna be going crazy on riff salad and clean everything just to see what we can bring over to Robbie on our upcoming EP.
Also, you're already working on new material?
mm.
Yep, little nuggets, nothing too crazy, but
Are you guys that, or are you a band that like continuously writes, or do you set aside time to write?
I'd say
It's
it's both, 100% both.
Oh, I was gonna say sometimes, you know, you just have a little phone blurb that you just have to record, and then sometimes, you know, after like a couple years of that, you'll just be like, hey, turns out I have enough to sit down and really make a full song here.
Right. And then put them all together. No, I get that. All right, cool. So if fans want to find you then, how do they do so?
Bridges Ablaze.
Everywhere,
Yeah.
including the TikToks,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, including Google. Just Google
including
Bridges
Google.
Ablaze. Boom.
That's beautiful. Thank you, my friends. Good seeing you again. Good luck with the record.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. And we'd love to be out in Richmond someday. We will soon.
Hey everyone, this is Bjorn from Soulwork, and this is Brutally Delicious.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hey there, heavy metal maniacs and kitchen crusaders. I'm Bruce Moore, the host of the Brutally Delicious Podcast, where we whisk up a blend of metal and food to quench even the most discriminate tastes. Have you ever wondered what your favorite metal musician chows down on before they hit the stage to melt your face off? Well, look no further. Here at the Brutally Delicious Podcast, we have cooking segments so brutal they'll make your oven want to headbang. From beefy, bodacious burgers, to spicy, succulent salmon, to kickin' caliente cauliflower, and more. We mix metal and culinary creations, resulting in a feast for the senses.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, this is Michael Monroe. Brutally delicious. Isn't that beautiful? See you down the road.
Each week, I meet with the mammoths of metal for interviews that are spicier than a Carolina Reaper. Get the latest on their upcoming shows, behind-the-scenes stories, and if we're lucky enough, maybe they'll share a secret family recipe or two with us. You'll also want to check out our weekly album and show reviews, where we dice, slice, and serve up our unique takes on the latest metal releases. So grab your leather apron, crank to volume 211, and subscribe to the Brutally Delicious Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. It's sure to be a hell of a time.
Oh, hey there. It's Tim from Protest the Hero. Now that you've seen my junk, I'm going to show you how to make a pizza. And you're watching Brutally Delicious.
What's up, everybody? Max Cavalera, Soulfly, and you listen to Brutally Delicious Podcast. Stay mad, motherfuckers. And from the birds, Southside,